Namaste and welcome to the Food for the Soul, and today we will talk about the benefits of fasting on the 11th day of the moon cycle called Ekadashi, and the effects of this fasting from Ekadashi, the 11th day of the moon cycle. So the moon has two cycles, the waxing and waning, from new moon to the full moon, and from waning cycle from the full moon to the new moon. So the 11th day is called Ekadashi, and it's considered the best day to fast. And from that day to new moon, it has a special energy. Now, there have been a lot of scientific studies on the lunar cycle, the moon cycle. Just in brief, if you understand the solar cycle, the movement of the sun controls the season. So the sun in the second half of the year, when it is in the southern hemisphere, it's summer over there. In Ayurveda, what disease you manifest physically originates in the mind. So not following a good eating cycle, not following a good routine is called as prajna aparadha. It's an intellectual mistake. Ignorance, we cannot feign ignorance, right? So when you are getting a speeding ticket or you make a mistake, you make any kind of mistake in life, we cannot say, oh, we didn't know. You should know. So we should know that the sun and the moon affect us, and this fasting will benefit us. Eating the right things will benefit us. Knowing what is right for you, not having addiction. So this is all prajna. This is intelligence, awareness. And when we fast on the 11th day of the moon, we activate a certain level of purification of the body. Now, first of all, in Ayurveda, it states that the 11th day of the moon cycle, that is Ekadashi, it is the best day to fast. Why? Because one, it's very dear to the Lord. And on that day, your digestion is very weak. From the 11th day of the moon cycle to the new moon and to the full moon, there is a very powerful difference in atmospheric pressure. There are high tides and low tides. On March 29th, 2021, if everyone remembers that incident, there was this ship stuck at Suez Canal for days together. Millions of dollars were being lost every day. And finally, it was for the supermoon to raise that water to 19 feet. Now imagine if the full moon can raise that ocean level to 19 feet, imagine the effect it has on you. So if your water level, if your heaviness is very high, you will have the maximum pull, and this can affect your body. And I saw this. So in those cycles, it's if your body is heavy, you get the maximum tidal wave even in your own body, the pull, and that's what makes you lunatic. There have been several scientific studies, scientific papers that I've read. I'm doing my PhD, so I read a lot of scientific papers. And in them, there are some special incidents that happen on full moon, new moon, but everything begins on the 11th day. And your body needs to prepare. You can either get the best out of this time cycle, or you get sick or not get the benefit at all. Today's population, 30 to 40% of the population is already insulin resistant. 15% of Indian and US population is already diabetic. So a large section of the population is already undergoing the effects of bad digestion. So if you want to reverse these situations, you have to fast on Ekadashi. Now there are several levels of fasting. The best thing that you can achieve is a complete liver cleanse. So your digestive fire in Ayurveda is called Agni, the capacity of your liver to process. Your cells are very intelligent. Every cell in your body has thyroid, and insulin influences the energy uptake in the body. And these two are the most affected because of the foods of today, which are very heavy, just like wheat and rice. They are very heavy and they have a very high glycemic index. On the rest of the days, from when you eat mostly this wheat and rice, what happens is it raises your glucose levels so high, then your body raises your insulin, and they are just competing. They are just trying to bring your body cycle to normal. Now this has a tremendous negative effect, and it causes fatty liver. Now on Ekadashi day, if you eat heavy again, now many people think fasting, you can eat anything except grain. So for example, if you take potato on Ekadashi, now it has a very high glycemic index. Remember this term, glycemic index. If you take something like the sweet banana, now the small bananas, they are still okay, but the large bananas, especially in the US, you get those sweet dole bananas, and they are so sweet, and some of them have chemicals to increase their sweetness, that they raise your sugar levels very quickly. Now fruits, especially these sweet fruits, they have 50% glucose and fructose. Now they become heavy on your liver. So you're fasting, you're trying to get the maximum effect, but then you eat these mango and this heavy bananas and foods or fruits with high sugar levels like potatoes and even tapioca, sabudana, what we say. Now it's so high in sugar. Now when you take foods like this, which are very common, I've seen people making pizzas, potato pizzas and all that. Now that raises your sugar levels so high and loads up your liver that all the benefits of fasting are lost. Ayurveda clearly states that Agni or digestive fire is Lord Vishnu. And sometimes by fasting, now Madhvacharya explains this, who was a saint from the 12th century, is that one who fasts on the 11th day without anything. So Madhvites basically in Udupi and other places, they just take 3 times the holy water and just fast. And in that way, you maximize the benefit. And you can test yourself. If you cannot fast easily, you have issues with the liver, you have issues with the Agni. Now Agni, it not just affects your digestion, but it also affects your intelligence. It affects your levels of intelligence as well. So therefore, this is a great day to reverse your fatty liver, to improve your Agni, to actually worship your body, which is a temple. Now by overeating, we are disregarding this body. Now overeating means also eating the wrong things. Now when you are meant to fast, you eat something which raises your glucose levels, which raises the body heat. For example, mango, it's on normal days it's good, but on Ekadashi it raises your sugar level, raises your heat in the body, and your body is just trying to keep up. So what should you do if you really want the benefits? So for example, I come from Udupi, and that's where Madhvacharya spoke this wonderful science of fasting and all the Vedic scriptures. And you see the followers, they strictly fast and they are awake all night on that special day. It's not easy to just fast and do this in one day. You have to prepare the previous day. So previous day, the more you eat foods with high glycemic index, especially wheat and rice. I've seen some people who eat heavy the previous night thinking how to fast the next day. That is the worst thing you can do. Because what happens is, Ayurveda says that you get attracted to what you have within. So if your glucose levels are high the next day, because those who have heavy dinner, you can see they develop a pot belly. And this is because the food is converting to fat if you have a heavy dinner, because it cannot digest it so easily. Night is not a time for digestion. Daytime is a time for digestion. You have to move along with the cycle of the sun. So your peak digestion is at lunch. So when you have that heavy dinner, people have it on a regular basis today. And what happens? They develop a big belly, and that is the biggest cause of diabetes and insulin resistance. So if you want to get the benefit of fasting, so you fast the previous night, and you have only vegetables on the afternoon of the previous day, because vegetables, leave aside vegetables with high starch like potatoes, and have green vegetables, light, and you fast at night, you will be able to fast the next day because you are lighter. If your glucose levels are high, it mimics hunger, and you become hungry all the time. So if you fast the previous day, so the next day fasting becomes easy, your liver is more relaxed. Another thing that can benefit if you really want to fast and get the full benefits is deep breathing. So the difference between exercise and yoga is also the deep breathing, because in exercise, if you don't breathe well, your body develops lactic acid. I've seen those who do heavy exercise, they just can't control their eating. In yoga, you breathe in slowly and you breathe out slowly. So you balance the breathing and you neutralize all the glucose. One of the best things that I found that helped me overcome so many health issues is the deep breathing. So after you eat, if you eat too much, if your belly is like, you are eaten too much, your belly is too full, you cannot breathe. Hatha Yoga Pradipika says, test yourself if you have eaten the right amount, if you can breathe well. If your breathing is heavy, that means you have eaten too much. If you can breathe freely, that's why in Christianity they say don't eat till the glut. Gluttony is a sin, because if you eat till the glut, you cannot breathe. Your food becomes toxin, your food becomes poison, your liver cannot process it. So eat only to the degree you can breathe freely. Even drinking water, don't just gulp, gulp, gulp. You should drink only to the degree you can breathe freely. So we should be very controlled in what we eat and what we drink too, the amount. Now on Ekadashi day, if you fast the previous night, so the next day you feel lighter. If you have a very good routine, that helps. If you have a deeper breathing, that helps. Now, those who have specific health conditions, if you cultivate a lot of good things like this, like immediately after eating, you take a walk, you move your body, you relax, your digestion is good, have light dinners or no dinners. Even for those who have insulin resistance, diabetes, thyroid problems, if you control your dinner, then it becomes easier to fast on Ekadashi and get the full benefits. Don't try to fill up on Ekadashi. So Ekadashi, it is said that if you do dry fasting, there's been a lot of research that intermittent fasting, dry fasting for a few days, it actually activates stem cells. in the body. It burns down all the lipids. It can reverse your fatty liver. 3 days of good fasting. Now, as I'm recording this video, I have been fasting for the last 30 days, just eating one bowl of vegetables. And on Ekadashi day, my favorite food from my book, Food for the Soul, which me and my wife wrote, is the chia lemonade juices. So Ekadashi, you can either dry fast, which is very difficult. And I try to keep a strict routine in my yoga practice, and I was overcoming several health issues, and which was solved because I could fast properly on Ekadashi. It has so much benefits. That's why I'm happy to share in this video. So if you can fast, dry fast, which is not easy, you have to keep hydrated. So best is to drink water. My teacher told me eat water. Then I found that chia lemonades are very good. If you soak them previous night, add some berries to it, because berries are low glycemic index, and chia actually reduces your sugar levels. It controls the glycemic index in the body. So I started having chia lemonades, and I found that they are the best thing. Your body is hydrated, you don't feel dried out, your liver reverses the fat, you don't feel hungry at all. And on Ekadashi day, on the day of the fasting, don't stress yourself out. Keep your day completely calm. Take deep breath, take some walks, try to rest on that day, keep your work minimum. In the evening, try to do some meditation, be calm. If you're not able to wake up the whole night or late night, as in Ekadashi, many people do this meditation, that's fine. Try to take good rest, but don't. Some people, it's not easy to fast, so late night you may get very hungry. So it's okay, you can sleep early. If you cultivate some good habits like this, within a few weeks or a few cycles, you'll be able to fast very easily and also spend the whole night doing some spiritual meditation. So Ayurveda says if you want to maximize the benefit, the next day you don't eat like a full meal, then all your benefits are nullified. So what do? You take some herbs. Now what I do on Ekadashi, or even in the last 30 days of my one meal a day vegetable fast, I only took ghee at night, just 5 to 6 spoons of healthy ghee, quality ghee. If you eat quality ghee, healthy ghee, it can reverse your liver fat, but it needs to be good quality. Ghee is the most miraculous food. We make our own brand of ghee with the best churned, cultured butter, and I take that Brahmi ghee, and it has completely reversed all the liver fat. And that's what I have for my dinner, either ashwagandha ghee or Brahmi ghee. So ghee rejuvenates your entire intestines, what we call gut bacteria, because your immunity, your digestion is in your gut. 90% of your nerve neurotransmitter serotonin is generated in the gut, in the stomach. And who generates it? But uric acid, the helpful digestive bacteria, your friendly bacteria. And when we take antibiotics, all these different medicine, they kill all these bacteria. And ghee is the best rejuvenator. And I was amazed to find the effects on myself. And it rejuvenates your intestines, rejuvenates your digestive system. And when you add amla, when you add ashwagandha and Brahmi, all these herbs, so next day, you just take some light soups. So Ekadashi, the 11th day to the full moon and 11th day to the new moon, if you keep your foods light but nutritious, like with all these herbs. Even on Ekadashi, if you want to eat something, eat some light vegetables like green vegetables, just like the previous day. And for the next 3-4 days, you will see that any health condition you'll be able to control. So eat light, keep yourself light, stay away from heavy dinners, even on regular days, and try not to have foods with high glycemic index, potatoes, tapioca, mangoes, all these different things. And if you can maintain this cycle over a period of time, your body can completely detoxify itself. Because what happens is, the body first eats up all the glucose. And if you control your diet on a regular basis, then the next thing that body cleanses out from your body is actually the toxins. Then the fats. The belly fat is the last to go. But once your belly fat goes away, your Agni is rejuvenated completely. In fasting, you are worshipping your body. You are revering the body. You are giving it the due value. You are balancing. You are building a synergy with your own Agni, with the Lord within you, with your chakras, all these energy. So the Manipura chakra, the fire chakra, is activated. So in Ayurveda, there is Rutucharya. You follow the seasons. You have a different routine for each season. So we'll talk about that in a different video. But the moon cycle, you follow the diet properly, especially these 4 days. Then remember the term lunatic. So lunatic is when you do not follow the cycle of the moon and get diseased because of overeating, bad eating. Overeating is also eating the wrong things. So you can avoid that completely. And scientific studies prove that intermittent fasting, especially on these days of the moon, there have been a lot of studies and they are showing us that fasting is so beneficial, especially on these days, and we have this wonderful gift. Just that we have to plan our fast for the maximum benefits. So start the previous day, and for the next 3-4 days, if you can avoid dinner, eat foods with low glycemic index, eat light lunch, Ekadashi day skip altogether if possible, or have just green vegetables and have plenty of water, chia lemonades, and you can see that your body can completely rejuvenate by fasting right. Thank you all so much. If you have liked this video, then press the like button, share it with your friends, and do visit our website foodforthesoul.net. Thank you so much.